Built for durability and performance, the choice is Woods.
We measure them on, obviously, we budget sales of new and used and parts and service. We budget margins in all those areas. And at the end of the day, then you'll budget a net profit based on those sales, margins, and expenses. So we measure them that way. I also measure them on absorption rate, how well the parts and service departments cover the expenses of the dealership. I measure them on market share, and I measure them on used equipment turnover. So those are the major factors that they are measured on, evaluated on, and compensated on. You know, the sales goals are pretty cut and dried. You know, hey, we're selling X amount of dollars at X amount of percent of margin, and we're either ahead or behind. You know, how do we go? Well, we suspect, we prospect, we go after the business. We try to develop parts and service programs that will bring business in the door. You know, we've taken a lot of the management responsibilities away from the parts manager and allow them time to sell. You know, we have a centralized parts ordering system. We have a centralized warranty system. So we want the service manager, the parts manager to bring business in the door. How do we improve used turnover? That is one of the things. It's a rolling 12 months. So you look back 12 months, and when you close a month off, one's going to drop off, one's going to come on. And if you happen to have a period in there where you carry large inventories with low sales, it's going to haunt you for 12 months. So what we try to do is we try to set targets. You know, if our target is 4 times used turnover, and we're going to sell $4.5 or $8.5 million worth of used equipment, then basically we know we can't carry at any one time more than $2 million of used inventory. We'll be out of bounds. So that's kind of where we target, and I make them do these exercises to say, hey, here's where you're at on used turnover. Here's what the goal is. What do you have to do to get here? You have to grow sales, reduce inventory. And so that the market share then is the final piece, one of those puzzles, and that one's a little bit tougher. Historically, I can't take a store that's getting 20% share and say, hey, I want you to get 40% overnight. What you got to do, it's baby steps. Okay, we're at 20. Can we get to 22? You know, can we get to 22? Can we get to 23? And that's the way you look at it. If I got a store that's at 17, 18%, I try to set them up with targets to grow not 30 overnight, but small and gradual steps. And you know, how do we do that? Well, obviously you can turn your own customers, but you also got to figure out a way to bring in competitive customers. You demonstrate to them, you get to know them, you use your product specialists. You know, you probably go at them in a different. If you're going to go out there just on price alone, you may rent his business for a short period of time, but eventually you'll lose it. You got to do more than just price. You got to provide the service, the products, the parts, and the marketing, the finance package, the whole picture to get that business and keep it long term.
Built for durability and performance, the choice is Woods.